Hello and welcome to another unboxing video. As you all know, I do my best to keep buying more and more modules so I can add them to Visuino, and every now and then I gather some funds and succeed to place some bigger order. So this is the biggest order that I have placed so far to Adafruit, and let's see what we have in the box. I'll go ahead, use Rusty to cut through the packaging and see what I have decided to get in order to add support for it in Visuino. Adafruit, as usual, has packed everything quite well, and trust me, there is a lot of stuff here. So, since I placed the order quite a while ago, I have kind of forgotten everything that I ordered, and we will go through it together. They have packed it in individual bags. So first, this is a Breakout, this is a light sensor, color light, I believe, sensor. I2C, if I recall correctly. I'll have to check exactly. Again, of course, plan to be added in Visuino. This is a GEMMA M0, also planned to be mapless board in Visuino. This is, oh yeah, okay, well, this will go with something else, which I see here, so let's go ahead and open it. I have ordered two RGB matrices. They're slightly different, each of them. Quite big one. And of course, they need to be controlled with controller through this interface. And this here is one of the adapters. This is, let me see. Yeah, this is adapter for Feather. Yeah, it's a Feather adapter which allows you to connect Feather controller to this adapter and then connect this adapter to the Matrix. I will put the Matrix aside for now. Oh cool, it arrives even with cables. And continue with the controllers. We will focus on the matrices a bit later. So next we have, I'm not sure what kind of module is this. Okay, so this is another light sensor. It's a bit of, yeah, both are light sensors. So this is another type of light sensor. Again, most likely, if I recall correctly, I2C based. Let's quickly check. It should have labels on the pins. Not sure. Yeah, it is I2C, SDA and SCL pins. So two light sensors, very important, a cable to be able to optionally connect to them. This is a groove to STEMMA. These are, by the way, STEMMA connectors. I'm not sure if I will be mapping STEMMA distinctly as such in Visuino, since STEMMA is practically I2C, but I'm still a little bit conflicted. That being said, I also ordered myself a groove to STEMMA converter so I can connect them directly instead of soldering pin headers. Gives me a little bit more options. Here we have what is it? Oh yeah, it's a temperature sensor, I2C temperature sensor. I'll try to push it here. It's a nice, interesting, unusual for Adafruit red color. Usually their stuff is colored black, but nonetheless, I2C temperature sensor. Here we have, okay, well, this is another matrix, in this case portal. It has its own onboard controller for the matrices, the same RGB matrix which I showed earlier. So the difference is that while this one is effectively a shield, a feather, this one is a standalone controller and directly can control the display. I believe it is ESP32 based, but I'll have to double check to make sure. My memory is not what it used to be, and I order so much stuff, so I'm not 100% sure. In any case, this will be added, of course, to Visuino together with the upcoming support for the RGB displays. Now this is Metro ESP32 Express board S2. I have been looking to test the S2 and S3 and maybe do slightly different mapping for the ESP32 S2 and S3. So I decided to buy one S2 and one S3 boards, if I remember correctly, so I can properly test everything and of course map those boards in Visuino. Next, this is some kind of breakout board. I'm not sure, to be honest, not sure what this one is. Let's unpack it and look at it. I'm becoming curious myself. Adafruit really tends to pack their stuff very well. So this is spectral light sensor. Well, I will have to play more with it. So it looks very strange to me. Yeah, it's some kind of spectral sensor. And I believe it is also uses, oh no, it has I2C. It has I2C, but it also seems to have something like serial communication, because it has TX and RX pins here. So it is a rather interesting sensor, and I'm sure I'll have plenty of fun when I start working to add support for it in Visuino. Some of those more exotic sensors, they can be rather tricky when I start writing library for them. This is actually oh, okay, so it's a Maker Pi RP2040. This is 2040 board made by our good friends at Maker Uno Citron, and it's resold by Adafruit. It's not Adafruit product, but it's a very interesting board, and I kind of like the Citron products. I have a few of their boards, which they actually generously donated for the Visuino support some years ago. And yeah, I like them, and I tend to do a lot of tests with their boards, just because the board that they send me had LEDs on all of the pins, so I can quickly test variety of logic and pin control without the need of connecting any additional sensors or anything or LEDs to the boards. This one also appears to have plenty of LEDs, so even if you just connect the board, you can start monitoring stuff. And it has a couple of GPIO connected buttons from what I see. So yeah, plenty of options to play with it, even if you don't connect anything else. But that being said, this one appears to have a motor driver, has RGB LED, Not sure what this is, looks like speaker to me, but I'm not 100% sure because I don't see any opening. I'll have to study it. And it has groove connectors. Yeah, they're groove connectors. So plenty of options. Of course, it can be powered externally through here or through the USB, I'm sure. Yeah, I'll have to study the board, but this surely will be a very interesting and powerful board to be directly supported in Visuino. It has some more goodies here, but I'm not gonna unpack them. One of the really great things is that it has groove to individual pins, cables. These cables I really love. I don't have any of those, if I recall correctly. And they're very valuable when you want to connect a groove sensor to something else, or vice versa, something that has groove connection to any other type of sensor. So just the cables themselves are rather valuable to me. So let's see what else we have. As I said, I will leave the displays for last, but there are more bags here. So we finish with bag number 1 and we're on to bag number 2. And again, as I said, I bought a lot of stuff. So this is my biggest order to Adafruit, which they deserve. They deserve me supporting them as well. I just hope that one day they will also donate some hardware for the Visuino support. So, well, help me a little bit. So this is temperature and barometric pressure sensor, which is quite usual since for barometric pressure, for proper calculation, you usually need to measure the temperature anyway. It also has STEMMA connectors, obviously I2C, since I believe the STEMMA is pretty much all I2C based. So another module for the Visuino support. Couple of STEMMA cables, I mean 3 of them that I ordered. Let's put these guys aside for now. We'll look at them shortly and see what we have here. So this is another 2040 board. Okay, this one has a STEMMA connector and USB-C. So anyway, small Adafruit 2040 base board. Again, I bought it so I can add support for it, I mean proper mapping in Visuino. Of course it's supported with the generic 2040, but it's definitely easier if the board is directly mapped and you can just select it from the list and all of the pins appear the way they are done on the board. So this is the ESP32C3. Okay, the C3 is actually already supported in Visuino, but I don't think I have support for this individual board. I'll have to see. If not, it will also be added to the list of supported devices. Put this thing aside for now and focus on the next Adafruit item. So this is okay, so this is I2C, I believe, based. Let me confirm that. Difficult to see in the back. Most likely I2C. It's I2C or SPI. I am still trying to figure out if it is I2C or SPI. Yeah, I'll have to confirm whether it's I2C or SPI. Difficult to see through the back all the pins. Well, not quite like SPI. In any case, this is programmable PWM pulse width modulation module, for typically controlling LED brightness, but most likely you can control servos with it as well. And again, plan to be supported in Visuino whenever I get chance to get to it, because I mean I tend to get a bit overwhelmed. So now there are also a couple of freebies that Adafruit has thrown because the order was so big. This is interesting one. This is white, warm white light filament. So you put electricity through it and it lights. I don't know what I can use it for, but hey, it's a free toy, so I'm sure I'll find a way to enjoy it, or maybe come up with some fun little project with it. So this is Circuit Playground Bluefruit. I have added support for some of the Circuit Playground devices, but not for this particular one. So this is fantastic that they included this one for free. It will be definitely great if I can add it. And yes, from what I can see, this is positive the speaker, so what was on this board is also a speaker, just not sure. Oh yeah, I see there is a small opening here on the side. So in any case, this one has a bunch of RGB, it has obviously Bluetooth control and STEMMA connector, couple of buttons. I'm not sure if one of them is reset. It has speaker, a microphone I believe, it has temperature sensor, a light sensor, there is a switch here, not sure what the switch is for, I'll have to study it, but in any case it's a fairly well packed single board controller in very unusual round form factor. And I'm sure, well, I mean, I'm gonna map it obviously in Visuino, but I'm sure a lot of cool projects can be done with it. I actually did with the previous one some fun stuff, but I never got a chance to post video about it, so maybe I'll post a video of both of them doing some fun stuff together. We'll see how it goes. So the rest of the items are not exactly from Adafruit, but nonetheless they were reselling them and they were available there, and I really needed them. So I bought two Raspberry Pi Pico W's. That's a Raspberry Pi Pico with Wi-Fi functionality. The Pico is supported in Visuino, the W version is not supported yet, so that's why I bought these two guys. I just bought two in case I mess up one of them. And this is really important module to be supported in Visuino, so I wanted to have a spare. I also bought a, oh, interesting. So this is Pico H. Oh, I did not notice this when I was ordering. So I was under the impression I'm ordering the standard Pico, but this actually is probably an Adafruit product, since it has what appears to be a STEMMA connector here. I have to check this. It's either STEMMA connector or just normally the Pico doesn't come with this connector pre-soldered. But nonetheless, I bought this under the impression this is a standard Pico. I have one already, but I don't have the headers soldered on that one. And I decided to buy a second one, both as a spare. Also I have some Pico shields that I plan to install, and I will keep the other one unsoldered just in case I decide to do something else with it. So I just wanted to have a second one. Next we have another interesting module. This is called a plant monitor. It's not Adafruit product, it's made by somebody else. But it's a very interesting module. So it has some RGB LED on board. I'm not sure if it should have controller on board because it uses serial communication to communicate. But that being said, it may also be possible to reprogram the controller on board. I still need to study some more about this device. It's just a very interesting device, and I decided to get one and play with it and see what I can do with Visuino with it. But I believe that it measures soil moisture as well as environment humidity and temperature. Yeah, it has temperature sensor. Yeah, it has it may have even pressure measurement. Yeah, I'll have to study all the functionality. In any case, it appears to communicate primarily by serial communication, and that implies that it has controller on board. Whether or not it can be programmed or just used as dumb, well, not dumb, but as a smart sensor with fixed pre-programming, I will have to study and we'll figure it out. So this is in this bag, but no, that's not all, because we have one more bag. Let's see what's in this bag. As I said, this is a big order I placed. And again, some of the money for the order came from people supporting me on Patreon. As you can see, I'm putting your donations to good use. And some of the money came from the Visuino sales. And thank you everybody for supporting me. So, this is another RGB matrix for the same RGB matrix that I showed earlier. And I have ordered two of them. We'll look at them shortly. This is just a FeatherWing. So I have to see what was the other one. Yeah, maybe a different type of FeatherWing here. Okay. So FeatherWing for the RGB matrix. This is capacitive touch sensor with a STEMMA, so it's I2C capacitive touch sensor for 12 keys with STEMMA and normal I2C connector. What the hell is this? Okay, oh, okay, yeah, I have been adding, and this is in the new beta, the new Visuino beta, that is right at the moment available. Some versions of the beta are available to a selected group of users, and there will be another beta posted in the MIUI community. I'll post a link below. If you want to get access to the early beta and test some of the new features that I have added, you can join there. But in any case, this new beta comes with initial I2S support, and I needed some I2S devices. So this is audio amplifier. No, this is not the I2S audio amplifier. I am wrong. No, this is simply I2C controllable audio amplifier. There has to be I2S device, but I ordered some separated I2S devices, so probably not in this box. So in any case, this is I2C audio amplifier. And yes, I have ordered some I2S devices, but they're just not in this particular box. So let's see what we have here. Barometric sensor, I2C, most likely both temperature and barometric. They usually are combined. And yes, pressure and temperature sensor. Again, the temperature is added just because without temperature sensor you cannot properly measure the air pressure for whatever reason. Again, I don't want to get into the physics of it, but the point is that practically all barometric sensors tend to come nowadays with temperature sensor, built-in temperature sensor. Not necessarily super precise, and it measures the internal temperature rather than external temperature of the chip in order to make precision barometric pressure measurement. But that being said, it also can be used as a somewhat precise environment temperature sensor. So this is a bit of a mystery. Not sure what it is based on the description, so we'll have to open it. and see what I have bought this time. Again, I ordered it a while ago. Oh yeah, it's another pressure sensor. This one does not seem to have a specific number or anything. It's listed as MPRLS pressure. So this one is a tube pressure sensor, so you connect some tube to it and you measure the pressure in the tube. It's I2C. Again, the plan is to add support for it in Visuino. So one more sensor for me to develop component for. This is Ethernet FeatherWing. I'll open it since we're doing unboxing. This is, I believe, already supported. Again, it's in the new beta. It's not in the official Visuino version yet, but I did not have device to test. I added support for this feather, well, effectively shield, for the wing, and I just needed one in order to properly test the new functionality in Visuino. So here it is. I will have to solder it and test with it, and maybe post a video if I get chance. So finally, we are out of other bags. Well, obviously plenty of stuff here, but finally we are down to the two matrices that I ordered, and there are two different form factors. This one is square. I'll just put the boxes aside. They both have cables and I mean both power and data cables, and put them next to each other. Well, as you all know, Visuino has quite extensive graphics support, and people recently started asking me whether or not there is a built-in support for this type of RGB matrix. Well, you can support the matrix with Visuino Pro with custom code, but that again requires writing some code, and you cannot benefit from the advanced graphics support in Visuino. So I have decided to order, as you can see, two different displays. They have slight difference. One, I believe, from what I have briefly studied, has 4 control pins. The other one has 5 control pins, and the 5 control pin version is a little bit considered extended, so not supported everywhere by everything, but in any case the plan is to support them both in Visuino, and we'll see how it's gonna go. And most likely with so many RGB LEDs here, I'll be able to make some cool projects. So that's it for this video. Well, of course, at the very bottom of the box there is packaging list, and we can open it. I could have used this list as a quick reference for what's what, cheat sheet, but nonetheless, here it is at the end, and you can see how much stuff I have ordered. So when I said that this was a big order, I really meant it. The camera even decided that the recording is way too long and decided to cut off right at the middle of the recording. So to recap, here is the list of the items that I bought, quite some as you can see. All of this plan to be supported in Visuino. Once again, thank you everybody who has helped me by donating to Patreon. I have used the money, as you can see, to buy plenty of new stuff. Anybody else who wants to help me buy even more components and add support for them in Visuino, you're welcome to support me on Patreon. Now I have to start going through each individual item adding library for it. I write my own libraries, as you pretty much probably know, for the obvious reason that the Arduino libraries, existing Arduino libraries, they tend to use a fair amount of memory, which Visuino allows for very high memory optimization using certain coding techniques. Also, the libraries in Visuino are for most parts designed to work well with each other without blocking, without delays. I mean, calling the delay in the code, which is not something that is normal in the Arduino libraries. So using Arduino libraries for Visuino would result in very badly performing code. So as a result, I have to go through each of these components, study them individually, write a library for them, write the component, the visual component, and then the support is added in Visuino. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun for me. For everybody else, if you really want to support me, if you like what I'm doing, you can of course click on the like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you like Visuino, remember there is a free version, fully functional, with some limitations of course, but you can do plenty of projects with it completely for free. There is of course the standard version with even more functionality, and if you happen to be engineer working with microcontrollers or in industrial automation, there is even a professional version for you. So plenty of choices for everybody. If you really enjoy all of this stuff, please go ahead and check it out. Thank you everyone for watching, and thank you everyone for supporting me. I wish you guys have fantastic 2023 and see you in the next video. Goodbye.